Many people told us that we would not be able to raise that much that fast as first-time founders. More than 1 year, working 16, 18 hours a day, more than not going to fundraising unless you have paying customers or some evidence that the market.
So, hello everyone. Today we have the guest with us, Salgueda, the co-founder of Altan, a platform that comprises of AI agents that helps you design, build, and operate software. So, Albert, welcome to the show, and a huge congratulations on raising 2.5 million of funding for Altan. How are you feeling?
Great. Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, calling you right now from our hacker house here from Barcelona.
Okay, that's great. So, Albert, can you tell me a little bit about your journey and how it led to, co-founding of Altan?
Well, I was a technical product manager before, and building software solutions for other companies. And I realized that we were basically reinventing the wheel each time, right? So we were building like similar things every single time. And we created this kind of software agency with my co-founder, Tristan. And then AI came out. We started using ChatGPT for coding. And we see that big opportunity to automate somehow the process of building and democratize it so that more people could actually build their own solutions. So in a nutshell, that's a little bit how it all started. We moved from ourselves actually having that agency to productizing our service into what's Altan today.
Okay. And just one interesting question. Why did you name it Altan? Was there something behind it?
Actually, a funny story. My name, it's super simple, but I'm Albert, and Tristan, if you put the names together, it says Altan. So we're we're looking for a name that was kind of unique and easy to pronounce in all the different languages. Also found the domain, and it turned out to be that the name was already there. It was just a fusion of ours.
That's very interesting. You know how people have baby and they put their their initials together, right? It's your baby product. So yeah, that makes sense.
It was difficult to actually find a good name. It was very difficult, especially like all domains are taken, so it was kind of difficult, but yeah, it was there all the time, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you mentioned Tristan. He's also the co-founder. How do you guys, divide the role? So do you have anything like, hey, Tristan, you're responsible for that, and I'm responsible for that?
Well, we're both like very technical. Tristan studied here in the UPC. He's like a technical genius. So he's indeed like the one that's taking care and responsibility of our infrastructure and all the systems that we're creating. Obviously, I'm also technical, so we've been working together on the product, but I take more on the side on fundraising, kind of explaining the vision of Altan to the world and bringing customers, users. So I take more of the CEO role, and he takes the role of CTO, but we both kind of understand each other's and complement quite well.
And for someone who is hearing about Altan for the first time, this agent native platform, can you just explain them in simpler terms what it is and how they can, get started with the platform?
Yeah, well, agent native means software that is built from the ground up to be operated by agents, not humans. So it's like cloud native software. It unlocked a lot of new generational apps like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. Agent native is like the next paradigm. I think that it matters a lot because today software, or like most of the applications that exist on the market, are useless without a human operator. And today Altan brings in that agent, like that artificial operator, together with the software. In simple terms, as you said, what Altan provides is a team of agents that range from the designer, the engineer, the sales operator, customer support operator, all working for you on demand. It's very easy to get started. You just simply type what's your goal for your business, or what's the problem that you're facing. For example, I want to find more customers, or my customer support is a complete mess. There's no ticket system, or you can explain like a very niche problem in a very detailed way, and these agents will start working together, creating a project to actually bring a software solution for the problem that you're having, or a third party customer is having. Everything goes with natural language, and all the infrastructure that you see is very easy to edit and understand. So I think like the best way to get started is just type any kind of problem that you're having on your day-to-day basis, or type your goal and just click generate out, and we'll take it from there.
So can you claim that anyone who does not have a proper technical knowledge or coding knowledge can actually build a product in Altan?
Yes, actually, one of the recent examples that we have is a guy from Germany, a 19-year-old guy, studied business, so he has never coded a single line of code. He made a company called Daisy AI that reached 10K MRR, I think 1 month ago, and that happened 4 months ago. So like non-technical people can indeed build entire companies, and they can do it faster than ever, because it's unimaginable someone that has no technical experience that can actually put some solution into the market, and that solution is getting used and it's growing revenue. So I think anyone can build it, but it's not magic. So there's some users that expect that you'll have one prompt and you will start earning money. It doesn't work like that way. And I think like a good comparison would be a software like Photoshop, right? So everybody can start using Photoshop, but if you want to get deep, if you want to actually get the returns on what the software can bring to you, you actually have to learn. You have to, fight with it a little bit, and that's where you actually can get to the outcome. But you can indeed build sophisticated stuff without putting in a single line of code.
That's an interesting use case. But when we talk about Altan, we talk about other software tools that are in the market. We have Replit, we have Lovable. How is Altan different from them? Is it similar, or is there any difference? How can we distinguish both these platforms?
Yeah, so there are multiple app builder platforms out there. I think, for example, in the case of Lovable, their niche or how they win is to bring prototypes to life, and that provides a huge value for designers to actually have a front end and have a way to show how that idea would look like if it actually worked. Then there are other platforms that are more educational based, like Reddit. I like Replit. You also have some startups that are focusing now on vibe coding games. On our particular category, as you said before, it's like the agentic software and production ready. So we're focused on bringing actual solutions that work and that can be used, that I don't need a developer to then take it and make it work. And the type of solutions that we're bringing are, in a way, software 2.0, software that uses agents to be operated. For example, we always use this example of the restaurant. With Lovable, you could build this user interface of a reservation system or of a website where users can order. But with Altan, you can actually build the end-to-end reservation system with orders and put an agent on top of that can take the phone calls of the restaurant and can use the software. So in a way, that system works without a human having to log into the system once it's done. And that's the kind of solutions that we're looking for. AI for many companies is a plugin to legacy systems, and we realize that it's now cheaper to regenerate the entire system and bring AI into it than to actually kind of patch an old legacy system and put AI into that.
So, since we were talking about Lovable, what Lovable achieved, the fastest ARR, and thinking the same way, like planning to do something similar. What's on the cards?
I think we care a lot about two things. That's why we're planning to launch in 2 weeks. It took a little bit more time compared to Lovable because the depth that we're going is way deeper, and technically speaking, takes more time. And we care about fans and healthy revenue. That was our goal. So we didn't want to launch something that maybe people use one day and never come back. That is cool, but it's not really something that they are willing to pay continuously or cannot live without it. So in terms of growth, I think we have a huge opportunity for the following months to come. We're already working with multiple agencies. We're working with enterprises, and we're also expanding our customer base. I think consumer-wise, that will happen in the following months, and we would be able to match Lovable's revenue and growth probably by the end of this year or next year, as compared to how they started.
All the best for that, and I really believe that this can be achievable. for Alton. But what happens since I have been interviewing a lot of founders and the people who are using AI, who have these agencies, and what are the problem that they are facing with the AI platforms are basically it's good on the outside, the design is excellent, what has been created, but when they go in the back end is really messed up, and most of the founders still believe that maybe these AI platforms can create MVP, but not sure a scalable product because the backend still looks, weird for them to use. So, what's your take on
Yeah,
that?
I completely agree. Yeah. We started from the back end and then integrated the front end. And I can tell you that making backend is a huge challenge in terms uh, of all the technical things that you have to do to actually make it robust and make it scalable and make an agent understand that, make it secure, make it robust. We started on the backend side. Lovable started on the front end side. We started on the backend side. We've made many innovations on different sides. On our database product, we have databases that are as robust as Supabase, but as usable as spreadsheets and as cheap as free. So we reduce the cost of making a production-ready database. It's super easy to consume. On the backend / integrations workflows, we have an interface similar to Make.com or Zapier, where AI actually can build it, but then the human can understand what's going on and edit any part of how that particular part works. And on top of that, we have our agent system that still commits some mistakes. And that's something that I think will improve with the models. But the end result, whatever is produced, is not a black box for the end user. The end user can understand what's going on, can debug it, can see the logs, can see exactly how everything works. And the interface we provide is just like a very visual backend editing, we call it, so that everybody can tweak it, understand, and ensure that that thing grows. For enterprises and agencies, we also provide an Altan success plan where we ensure that whatever they make is actually secure and compliant with whatever prerequisites they have. That's something that we're still providing as a little bit of a service, but I think it will be fully automated also in the following months.
But I believe since you already got the funding, and for getting funding, it's really kind of a stamp that the product has some value. Product is great, and that's why people are investing in it. So, what was your fundraising journey was like? Because there are early founders, and they want to understand how can they start and how all of this was for you.
I think it was quite an outlier for Spain because many people told us that we would not be able to raise that much that fast as first-time founders. Many VCs just said like, okay, I like your product, I like your team, but come on, you've never built anything in the past before. In Spain, there's a lot of personal, I think it happens all around the world, but usually for a pre-seed, for first-time founders, this is kind of an outlier. What we did, Tristan and I, is that we locked in for a lot of time. I think we were locked in for more than 1 year, working 16, 18 hours a day, really working on the product without funding. So Tristan was living with his parents. I was living with my dad, completely isolated before actually trying to raise anything. We started raising once we had evidence that were people that were paying. So on February, March, we started opening up the platform. We already had some customers that we still have today that had some production apps that were using, every day, not like a prototype and that's it. No, they were using it every day. And then new users were coming and we faced a scalability issue. So mainly the main problem that we had is that, okay, this works for a little subset of users, but we cannot scale it just with a team of 2. And we decided to first talk to angels. It's true that the community that we had here in Barcelona was, for me, completely unexpected. I'm super thankful because the people that watched our video were mainly other founders that reached out to me and said, wow, what you're building is amazing. I wish I had that when I started my startup because I don't know how to code. I've tested it. It's so cool. Have you raised? And we're like, no, we have not even started any kind of fundraising process. But now we realize that we do have to. And they started introducing us to some angels. Obviously, the first one was the hardest, but it was an angel from Barcelona, Albert Armengol. He was our first investor, and from that first check, everything was closed in a matter of weeks. I think FOMO was really the what made people close, because we started, reducing the round, saying like, okay, this is already full. We're not taking any other deal, and all of a sudden, everybody wanted to invest, and we ended up closing this round. But yeah, I think my main advice is that today, to get started, you don't really need funding, because you can live with your parents as long as they can afford your food and a computer and internet connection. That's all you need to actually build the first prototype of whatever your idea. Our idea took a lot of time to build because it was very complicated. Maybe we should have started with something similar, but I would not go into fundraising unless you have paying customers or some evidence that the market actually needs your product.
And since you have gotten the funding now, how is this funding gonna accelerate, the future possibilities for Altan, and how you're gonna increase the global reach?
Yeah, well, we raised, we've increased the team. And as I said before, one thing is to build something for a few amount of users. The other thing is to build something that scales for a lot of users and that is reliable and that can be trusted, especially when we're dealing with backend, with data and all that stuff. So the first thing that we did is hire the best talent from Barcelona. And then we also decided to move into a hacker house. That's where we are today. We live here, work here, eat together. We do it all from this kind of office space. And mainly that will also enable us the funding to have enough credits to invest in some agencies, enterprise customers or a freemium plan, so users can test it and we can afford it. Because when you have no money, you cannot provide a free plan in terms of AI. The models are super expensive. So I think these two things are mainly what we're going to achieve. We will make the platform hyper reliable and robust with the team, and then we'll also be able to afford marketing activities or a freemium, so a lot of people can test it out for free.
Yeah, that's always a model. Usually, a more companies do provide a premium model and then make it paid, because users can test it, and then obviously if they're testing things they like it, they'll obviously go for the paid plan. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's a great idea. You recently had a exclusive partnership with Code in UAE. How do you feel about it?
Really excited. Really excited. We've been looking for serious builders. I think Dilip is a great leader and has a great agency, and closing this partnership in UAE is a huge step for us, because we had many clients that do need this extra layer of service, or that they want to be sure that whatever they actually bring to production is safe and is working great. And I think this partnership is one of the first that we're doing across the globe. And I'm very excited about what they are building. They're building amazing stuff with us. So it's really great to have them on board.
That's great. Do you have more plans to do such partnership in the Middle East, in the Asia, or to reach globally?
Yeah, we're doing multiple ones in America right now and in Europe. We have not started moving to Asia. We've closed one in Brazil, Argentina, Spain, UK, US, multiple ones in US, Mexico. But Asia, also some market that we want to go and have these engineering partners in a way there. But still, we didn't have the time. Our main focus today is to launch the product, put out to the world exactly what the product does and reach a huge amount of people, and then translate that into opportunities like partnerships with agencies, enterprise customers, or just users that start using it.
So you guys mentioned that you started and you were working and Tristan was working and you both were working 16 to 18 hours. Are there more people in the team now? Have you guys expanded?
We're 7 now. Mainly it's all developers. David that's doing GTM. And now we also, actually this week will be 8. We hired also Thielo for content. So we have somehow 2.5 people that's doing content, GTM, marketing, and business, and the rest of the team is pure technical, working on the agents part, working on the infrastructure part, basically there are like 3 teams on the company right now.
And this is my favorite question, and I'm going to ask you, and I literally ask everyone. Do you think with what is happening with AI and what AI is coming with all of these things, and the platforms now, all the platforms have AI in it, and what AI can build? Do you think that there will be no need of developers in the future, and AI will take over, and maybe if not, the top layer of developers, maybe um, the developers who are involved in no coding or vibe coding, etc.
Well, like it depends on the definition of a developer, right? So for me, a developer or a builder is someone that can create software. And if a developer uses Altan, or if like a non-technical person, I mean non-technical by they don't know how to code, they start using Altan and they start building great things, they become technical in a way because they have to learn. They become builders. And I think that number will increase. There will be actually more developers. There will be more builders than ever before because the barrier of entry is lower. And you will still need some people to actually build that. But the amount of people, maybe it does not decrease, but it actually increases because it's easier now to become a developer or a builder than it used to be. On terms of like a junior entry job that's doing, the code, obviously AI replaced that, but there's so much to be done that I think the number will even increase because there's a lot to be done. So my prediction is the opposite, and I think I'm seeing the opposite. There's going to be more builders, there's going to be more developers, and there's going to be more solutions in the market than ever before.
Okay, okay, that's a different take. I would feel because what the world has been saying is totally different, and what you are saying is just the opposite. Because you said because there has been layoffs that is happening around the world, and now you are saying that it might increase. So I think we will have to wait for a certain while and then see how eventually the things will turn out.
Really, the thing is, it depends on the definition of developer. So you need less developers now to make a product or to make a solution. You need less developers, but now you can make way more solutions. So the number of solutions of products increases faster than the decrease on developers per solution. So I think it kind of compensates long term. Yeah, Julius,
Okay.
the guy that made this company, he created it, right? He's not a developer, or he is. Depends on what you think, on how you define a developer. And obviously there will always need to be developers.
That's an interesting take. I understood what you are saying. You are saying this, maybe there will be more applications that, is gonna be built in the future, right? Instead of
Exactly.
what people are now. There are people who are trying to build something, and sometimes they feel like giving up. Sometimes, it's too much for them. So was there any time which was really tough for you guys, for you, for Kristen, for the team, kind of?
Yeah, I think there have been like 2 or 3 times, but before we raised the round, maybe January, the beginning of the year, um, we were working with a company that said that would invest on us, and that deal was like never closing. We were so desperate because we were working 16, 18 hours a day every single week. We were super exhausted, and then they said no to us. They said that they would not invest in us, and we thought that it would be great to work with this company and kind of work together and make Altan happen. And that was really a tough moment because we lost a potential customer. We lost also the investor. Nobody kind of trust in us. It's so tough to actually get this technology done. Maybe we thought too big for a starting point. Maybe we had to have started with something smaller or more niche, and we started like questioning everything. And that I think was the toughest moment, January 2025. But in retrospective, that was the best thing that would have happened to us. Because if they would have invested, it was like a big Spanish company, very old fashioned. If they would have invested in us, probably we would not be here. It was an amount way less than we actually raised. And with the vision that we have today, very global, very open, that would actually have been worse. So it turns out to be that the worst moment actually was a good thing to happen to us.
They say what happens for the best. So
Yeah.
something like that.
Or
Okay.
they say like
So
good luck or bad luck. Who knows, right?
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's correct. So this is almost my last question, and this is one piece of advice that you would like to give to entrepreneurs from your entrepreneurial
I
journey.
think it really depends on on everyone, but I'd like people to think bigger, to think long term. Don't try to build something for tomorrow, even if it seems easy. Sometimes the hardest thing has the highest reward, and there's less people building on that space. So my only advice would be that whatever happens, like don't be scared of pursuing a big idea, even if it does not make sense on the very beginning, on to start building something that you enjoy. I think like the most relevant thing is that you enjoy it. And also I'd say that you find someone to share the journey with. Because if it was not because of Tristan, probably I would have given up. And I think that would be the same otherwise, because things get tough. Every day is tough when nobody believes in you when you start, especially if you're pursuing something that's big. So these two advices, like don't think small, think big, because you'll attract better people, you'll attract better investors. It will turn out maybe to be easy long run. I cannot say it's easy by now, but maybe long term. And secondly, find someone great to work with, because if you do this alone, I think it's really hard. Um, there's people like Elon Musk and these people that they did it alone, but I would not recommend that. Yeah.
What you guys have achieved, you and Kristen, obviously, is amazing. And thank you for joining us today. And we wish you and Alton and Kristen, continued success.